I'm going around there right now just to do, yeah, that Ball Creek, huh? Woo! I'm going around there right now. Give it here. I let that Ball Creek I'm going around there right now.
They said I'd be hollering and screaming. They said I could never talk good sports radio. But I told them, so I found out radio for speaking. So I saw the light talking sports radio. So I thought about starting Rev T Sports Revival. People are saying, you can see how you have progressed in the show, and I'll tell you what, man, it shows. I mean, it totally shows. And our callers are saying this, right? And what you think about the Rev T Sports Revival?
No. The show seems really good. You have a lot of fun. This is why I called in, and you both know your sport. So it's always fun talking to people that know their sports. That's why I like to call whenever I get a chance.
And after I introduce my guests, they say,
for that big intro, I don't know whether to make you my agent or have you call my mom.
Our guests are saying this.
Your broadcast always edifies, and we're inspirational. You're unselfish. You don't whitewash anything. You deal with the real problems and issues, whether they popular or unpopular.
And they saying I'm sounding like this great legend that had a mouthpiece in the radio business.
Man, you talking sports over there like TV Green, man. That's what I like about Red T Sports Revival.
But most of all, this. Hey, Fred, what you think about the Red T Sports Revival?
Hey, when you tell the Red T, if they ears ain't used to great talk radio, they need to admit. Because at the end of the day, being different ain't being wrong. It's just being who you are. If they scared to be who they are, they probably shouldn't be listening to your show anyway.
Why tweet about it when you could talk about it on the Red T Sports Revival? Believe that, baby. March with me. Network Radio.
I am the people's library. I said I am the people's library.
Yeah, baby. We live right here on the Mountaintop. Mountaintop Network Radio, DMV. I'm Savon Fennell. Hashtag at Rev T is where you can find me at all over social media. I'm here with my man at Green 34. They call him Playoff Party. Hey, good morning, Party. How you doing, Chad? Ah!
Hell to the W.
Yeah, man, we got a good show for the people this morning. I think y'all ought to believe we might just have a special guest come through and talk with us this morning. They got to get ready. I want y'all to believe. I want y'all to go share the post. I want to put your likes and your hearts up. We got a lot to talk about this morning. We so glad to be here with the people. Y'all tune in. But I want y'all to believe that, though, we about to get busy over here this morning. But, Party, let's jump right into it. Washington football team, we talked about it yesterday. Y'all can go listen to episode 452 of the Sports Revival. We talked about it yesterday about Dwayne Haskins, right? And as crazy as it sounded, as I was saying, I was playing Pastor Shirley Caesar, and I said that, guess what? He wouldn't be back no more. And at the end of the day, just as quick as we got off the air around the noonday hour, the Washington football team put out a statement from Coach Rivera, blase, they thought it was in the best interest to part ways for both parties and be on their way. So in other words, Paulie, your thoughts on this? We gonna hit this and let this go.
Hey, Rev, you know, you did make that statement yesterday, and like me and everybody else up here listening and watching, I think we all agreed with you. But the one thing we didn't think, and I know I didn't think, that they was just going to outright release him, you know, this week. I thought that was going to be something that happened after the season was done, you know, because now you kind of hamstring yourself at the quarterback situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got you got a quarterback, Alex Smith, who's, you know, let's just say, you know, he's not exactly healthy, and you know, we don't know, you know, far how his injury situation is going. You got to back up my guy from ODU, Hampton Boulevard's finest, Taylor Heineke. You know what I mean? And he's a good talent, man. I seen this guy play. You know what I'm saying? 2-3 years, man. To go out there to the games, and the guy definitely got some moxie with him, man. You know, so I think, you know, as long as he can stay healthy, that's been his thing since he's been in the league. He's been unable to stay healthy, and that's just as a backup, second, third string quarterback. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And then you have Steven Montez, who has never taken a snap. And this is not the time of the year that you want a quarterback taking his first snaps ever. You know, so I thought at least they would just keep him, deactivate him, you know, and break the glass in the box in case of emergency.
We live right here at Rev T Sports Survival, 453. You can catch it on YouTube, Facebook, Rev T Sports Survival, or Tavon Fennell Sr. Make sure y'all go follow at Green34. That's playoff party, y'all. He feeling spirit. He been feeling the spirit for the last couple of weeks about this Washington football team. And I'm Rev T at WFT Rev here on Twitter, and you can follow me at Tavon Fennell Senior. Hell, just put in hashtag Rev T. You'll find me all over the place. But listen here, though, Paul. Being that said, we got to move on, and we got to start to look forward to the Eagles. You already put a theory out there about the quarterback situation. When it comes to the defense, I'm not too much concerned. But when it comes to the offense generating points and putting points up on the board, I am concerned. Not so much when it comes to the wide receivers, not so much when it comes to the tight end, not so much when it comes to the running game. But I'm concerned when it comes to, as you stated, the quarterback position. We don't know what's wrong with Alex Smith. And let me say this. We had a call, a follower yesterday, our big brother Bruno. I think Bruno and them got a show with my brother Antioch over there. I got to try to get them brothers back on here. But what I'm trying to say is this, though. We don't know the certain extent of Alex Smith and that calf injury right now. It could be more to it than what they putting out. Because the whole focus was, believe it or not, I don't care what anybody say. The whole focus was they thought that Alex Smith was going to be able to go on Sunday. They might try to play it off now. They already did what they had to do with Haskins as a scapegoat for the situation. But at the end of the day, Bo Paulie, we got to watch this with Alex Smith as the week leading on, and with this young, what's his name? Heineke. We got to watch him. But I want to talk about this Eagles, though, and hopefully we can get our guest on here soon. Hopefully he's going to Tap in with us if I'm correct, if we put our times together. Y'all sit back. We got a treat for y'all coming up, God willing. But at the end of the day, I want to go to some of these comments before we kind of move on. I got to say good morning, man, to Stephen Atkins of the Inside Blitz tuning in to us this morning. My family, part of the Mountaintop Network Radio, we about to come back strong. Stronger than ever in 2021. Y'all believe me when I tell it. Y'all make sure y'all follow him Sundays, 10 a.m. The Inside Blitz with Stephen Atkins. I got to say good morning, man, to D. Jamal Hickson. Good morning to you, big brother. Good morning to big brother James Jones up there in New York. Good morning to you, Sam. He say, if Alex Smith is available, then we'll go with that.
How you put your New York voice on?
Yeah. If not, next man up, Haneke, right? Mark Myers say, hey, Ray FT, man. Hey, good morning, brother Mark. I appreciate you so much. Big brother Tom Casey say, good morning. Good morning to you, Chang. He say, God bless the Redskins. We got a real coach now. He took care of business and cut the scrub. Haskins, the lesson is you need to learn the game before you get game 14 games at OSU wasn't enough for the young fella.
I disagree with that.
Right. Our focus is on the Eagles. We have to come out the starting gates. Yeah, you got to come out. You got to come out. And we talked about that yesterday on episode 452 on how the Washington football team had came out flat, Paulie. And we've seen that with them. They were big, Bruno. We was just talking about you, Tank, about your comment yesterday, referring to the about Alex Smith. And we might not too much sure about that injury. It might be more to it than what they putting out. We just showed you some love on that. You need to get up with us, bro. Let us see what's going to happen here within the next few minutes or so. See if we get this guest on the line for the people this morning. And you kind of help us talk this thing with the Washington football team. I'm Tavon.
Hey, Red, let me chime in real quick, man.
Yeah, bro.
Let me chime in. I want to answer my guy up here said 14 games wasn't enough. But man, you know what? This wasn't about 14 games. This wasn't about interceptions or this wasn't about play on the field. This was about that man's character. You know, him not willing to grow up and be a man. You know, look, the NFL, man, it's a young man's league, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a grown man's game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you gotta be a grown man out there. You know what I mean? No matter, and that's called leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Especially at the quarterback position. You know, hey, you look at Chase Young, man. That's a grown man out there. You know, they rallying behind him, and it's not just because of his play. I mean, yeah, his play has a lot to do with it, but look how he carry himself on that field. You know, everything is football. You know, and with Haskins, everything is not football because his career was on the line this season. You know what I mean? First 4 games, he got sat down. Everything was taken away from him. He got up here on the podium 2 weeks ago and cried, saying he never thought he would get this chance again.
And I cried with him.
Yeah. But at that point, you would have thought his whole mentality would have been football. This is my opportunity. This you don't get too because we always talk about black quarterbacks not getting second chance, this, that. He got his second chance with the team that drafted him. Right there, it was on a plate, on a silver platter, handed it to him.
And when he cried,
and he went to make it, and he decided to go make it rain.
He had tears of joy.
Come on, man. Look, this was about his character, man. His character and his unwillingness to grow up and adversity. Look, he got a third chance after the whole making it rain situation. Rivera could have sat him on the bench. He could have cut him in, but he gave him another chance. At any point in that game on Sunday, did you feel like this guy was laying it on the line for his career, for his team, or was he going through the motions on the field? Mm-hmm. But like to me, he was just going through the motions. You know, so you can't have that. Hey, James Brown made a comment on halftime, right? He said, if your quarterback looking like he don't want to be there, How you think the rest of the team is going to react to that?
He did look distant, and you notice my head. I'm starting to look like the Brown Hornet a little bit. Or my kids say I'm starting to look like Cleveland Brown. But at the end of the day, though, you know, he didn't look himself on Sunday, and I'm not talking about taking the cornrows out his head and taking the earring off his head. He looked
like he was trying to play the victim.
Right.
You can't play. You can't pull the trigger and then try to play the victim.
He didn't say "woe was me" when he saw that black moon, did he? He didn't say "woe was me."
Come on, man. Yo, if that was me, I'd have been laying it on the line. You'd have known. If this was my last opportunity to show you something, man, I'm running all around that field. I'm doing, even if I throw 2 interceptions, if I threw that interception, I'd have been the first one making that tackle. You know, I didn't see no fire in him, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where was his heart at?
Where was his heart at?
That's why I said it was emotionally draining for me to watch that game, because he drained the emotions out of me because he had no emotion to nothing that was going on.
He didn't have that fire. He didn't have that snap with him.
He had to get up and go.
He looked flat.
Had to get up and want to.
He looked flat. He looked flat, and it looked like he was looking for a hand to reach out, to grab and hold, and it wasn't nobody there to really hold him up. To me, Dwayne Haskins was in a situation. If I'm your teammate right now, if you want me to grab a hold of you and hold you up, you got to show me something. You got to do something for me to make me put my hand out and hold you up. He never really did anything like that to kind of spark a fire within his team.
He was in a situation that he put himself in. So he should have laced up his bootstraps and went to work and showed everybody out there on that field that this is what I do. This is what I love. And I'm going to fight until I'm going to give my last breath out here on this field to make sure that we win this game. Period. And he didn't come out there like that. He came out there looking for people to pat him on the back and play the victim.
Right. And also, I think he was trying to do too much. When Dwayne Haskins, out of the games that he's played here with the Washington football team organization over the last year and a half or so, okay, when Dwayne Haskins doesn't force the issue at the position, he has a good game. But when he's trying to force and make a play, then that's when the mistakes happen.
No, he was playing scared. He was playing scared, man. In the words of the immortal Tupac, this isn't scared.
Yeah,
he was playing scared.
Playing scared. But now, not to his defense, but just to say though, a lot of times when he's playing scared, it's because Scott Turner didn't call that compact offense for him to run. Let's admit, when Dwayne Haskins, whether it's in crunch time or comeback time or they doing fine time, when the Washington football team with Haskins under center had ran the spread type offense, he had success. When he was a lot of time back from the center, off the center, when he was
I'm gonna disagree with that.
No,
I'm gonna have to disagree with that.
He had the problem at.
I gotta disagree with that one, man. Because the last game against Seattle, your team just figured out that screen game with them. He didn't have success until they actually started putting the ball downfield and hitting his check downs and things such. Not the wide receiver screen game. It doesn't work with Haskins in the game because teams think that's their priority play. You know, the problem, like I said, with Haskins was this week, he came out, he felt that monkey on his back. And he didn't lay it. Look, when things go bad, the cream rise to the top. And that dude sunk. He sunk in himself. You know what I mean? He didn't come out with that fire to like, you know what, this is it. F it. This is it. And I'm going to go, if this is it, I'm going to go out swinging. You know, He went out looking for somebody, like you said, to hold his hand. This is a grown man's game. You want to be a grown man? You want to spend them grown man dollars? You know what I mean? Then you got to play like a grown man. Accept the responsibility that this was your fault, and you play your way out of that, man. And I didn't see that. I see him. He succumbed to the pressure, and that's what the most disappointing about it all. He did. I didn't get Dwayne Haskins at full throttle. So I got baby Dwayne.
Baby Dwayne. Brandon Ray here say Dwayne doesn't look defensive way. He locks in on his receivers too much. Well, yeah, he does do that. I mean, that is an issue with him. But also that also come down to coaches too, to teach him to stop doing that too.
Look, man, at this point, that's quarterback fundamental 1-on-1. How many times can you coach a guy not to stare down one receiver? You know, and not even that. That's opening install in that office. Every time he stares down at one receiver, if you look to the right, somebody's open in the flat. So that, like I said, it goes to show he succumbed to the pressure on Sunday, man. Because everything he did right against Seattle, he did wrong against the Panthers. He did a complete 180, man. The only thing he did that we been asking him more to do is make plays off schedule. Those were his best plays on Sunday. His off schedule plays.
Yeah, his off schedule plays. Anything else, you know. But
anything
anyway,
in rhythm and timing, he was off.
But anyway, though, I gotta say good morning to my brother Authentic, man. Good morning to you, brother, tuning in. Brandon Ray, Tom Casey, Mark Myers, good morning to you, big brother Bruno. He said, I'm the one who calls in to the B-Miss show from North Carolina. Hey, man, we appreciate you so much, Tank.
Big Bruno.
Big Bruno, we appreciate you so much. Who else we got up here? James Jones, we appreciate you tuning in this morning. Jamal Higginson, Stephen Atkins, and the Inside Blitz. Y'all make sure y'all go share the post.
Back James Jones.
Yeah.
Back James Jones.
With James Jones, whatever platform y'all on at home, at work, listening to the call, make sure you go share the post with the people. Let them know what we doing. We'll try to bring it to you in the morning. We just testing the waters right now, wade in the water, and we swimming. Big brother Authentic, he say he just flat out wasn't ready. It was a comment he made here. But he goes on to say, NFL QB is a plug and play position. That's why there are only few guys who balled out. Let's not forget McGloin wasn't there either. No weapons for a guy like Haskins is a losing formula. That's a good point. I got to say good morning, man, to Kim Beasley. And if y'all don't know who that is,
top of the morning.
I'm
not giving Haskins no excuses at this point, man. Like I said, if he went out there and I seen that energy in him, and he went out there ready to play, ready to fight to the end, man, I ain't gonna eat his lunch for not, throwing picks or any of that other stuff, man. But he checked out. Clearly, he checked out on Sunday, man. He gave it up, man. He just gave it up. He gave it away. Gave it away, bro. Look, Rivera had that man back all week through all his BS. He had his back the whole week. He shut down reporters. He shut down the reporters all week long about that. And this man come out here, stunk the field up on Sunday, went back in the locker room, got dressed, and bounced. He didn't talk to your coach. He talked to the offensive coordinator. You blew off the Zoom meetings. Come on, man. He checked out. He took his ball and went home.
And listen here, though, I got to say good morning, man, to Warren Giles. Warren Giles over there in Australia, man, tuning in this morning. I know all my people.
Good, mate?
Trust me, man. Trust me. I know all my people, man. That's a brother in Australia, so you might want to say mate instead of mate. You know what I'm saying? You got to mate. You know what I'm talking about?
Mate.
But I wanted to say this. Kim Beasley, if y'all don't know who she is, that's a good friend of mine. Her and her husband, big brother Philip. But that's Chief Z granddaughter right there, Kim Beasley. And I love her so much. I had the chance to spend some time with her on 4th of July where she came past to check up on me and the family. and my son, baby TJ, and I love her and I appreciate her so much. Good morning to you, family. I appreciate you so much. Terry Caldwell say, not having your best weapon isn't an excuse, though. Ask Roger how it would be without Devontae Adams. That's a good point. They going back.
Could be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
we've seen him without Devontae Adams. He Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Warren Giles say Austria.
Austria? That's where he from?
Austria.
Hey.
Hey, but hold on.
I think that's where they make Whitworth.
Paulie, I think we got a guest on the line.
All right.
Good morning. Good morning. Doc, is this Doc?
Yes, sir.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to put y'all hands together, man. For my friend, for the people's friend, we talking about Super Bowl champion Doc Walker. Good morning to you, Doc. Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Rev. How are you?
I'm doing fine, man. We just sitting here just talking about this. You know, we chopped it up a little bit about the situation with Dwayne Haskins being released, and you know the story. And I think all our listeners and Brother Paulie, who's sitting there with me on the show this morning, Doc, know the story with Dwayne Haskins. Yeah, that's right. That's Paulie there. But at the
end, Doc?
I'm good.
But at the end of the day, Doc, I'm gonna hit you just like this. What would be your advice to Dwayne Haskins moving forward? After all this been said and done, what would be your advice to Dwayne Haskins?
The strongest influence of people to have around you are the 3 or 4 guys you're closest with. And to me, they have failed him miserably because he don't have that crew of a guy that's willing to be ostracized to tell him the right thing. He got guys that want to get in the velvet ropes. They want to be in line with him. And even though I
Hey now.
In front of you with our defense eventually will get to the quarterback. But if they let him out and they're undisciplined, our problem is that we don't play smart as we are capable of. There's too many damn penalties. We jump off sides. We get every critical situation. We offside. We start slow. It's not, the fire is not lit under these guys. It's a really weird deal for me, but that's what happens when you have a young team. See, they're young. And so, you know, that's going to be as the wind blows. They don't have them dudes that seasoned that can step to them. Ain't nobody that step to nobody. John Allen and them guys, the defense, they under control, but they're young. And they don't, I'm just telling you what I see.
Right.
Why you got to beg them to get a good start? You got to beg them to stay on side. You got to bet. Come on, man. Either you ready for this or you not. And if they're not ready, then we'll have to spend the whole offseason talking about woulda, shoulda, coulda. All words are loose.
We sit there live, Rick Doc Walker, man, Super Bowl champion, Washington football team, that burgundy and gold history. Paulie, you with us now, Paulie? You got us back, Paulie?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
What do you want to ask Doc, man, when it comes to this Philadelphia Eagles matchup on Sunday to clinch the division?
Hey, Doc, I've been saying this. I want to get your opinion on it. What do we have to do to get Scott Turner to put the ball in the beast of the belly in Gibson a little more? I think with the quarterback situation, I think we need to lean on that run game a little more than we doing.
Well, see, this is what happens, Paulie, in my opinion, when you don't have a general manager. The worst thing you can do in football is not have everybody has to be accountable. So if a GM would go in and step to the coach and go, hey, man, what the heck's going on? And then you would have some debate. But when the coach is the general manager, president, sales team, he's everything. So nobody questions if that's his guy. He ain't gonna step to him. He's put this guy in a position to succeed. He's betting on him. So he's emotionally too tied. I need somebody that don't give a damn about nothing but winning the game. I don't need no hidden agendas. Because I'm not personally involved. I'm not pulling for or against any of them. So I'm gonna say, hey, dude, I don't like the way you're calling this. Step out. Don't forget what Jimmy Johnson did to his dad in the Super Bowl with the Cowboys against the Bills. They were throwing the ball around with Troy, and Jimmy got in the locker room and said, hey, get a ball to Emmett. Game over. It was over.
It was over.
Game over. But when you get these creative minds, coordinators are creative. You got to have somebody to counter on this old school. You can't have new school guy in charge. Not to me. GM comes and say, hey, Ron, what the hell is going on? Got to be some debate. See, but again, we never set our program up right. It's ass backwards for 20 years, 21 years. It's never done right. Hire a GM, have the GM hire the coach, have the coach hire the coordinators, but the GM can step to all of them. And to me, unless you're a proven winner, that's the way it ought to be. But, you know, that ain't the way it is here.
Well, that's Doc Walker, Rick Doc Walker, Super Bowl champion. Listen here. Hey, Doc, before I let you go, I want to ask you this one thing, man, and it's been troubling me, it's been troubling Paulie, and I think it's been troubling a lot of our listeners. This special teams. This special teams, Doc. What's the problem here? Because one thing that happened with Steven Sims on Sunday is those feet were still shuffling while he was trying to feel that ball when that ball was dropping close in his hands. And because those feet weren't balanced, they weren't mounted on that ground and shuffling around, he fumbled that ball. What happened there? Is that teaching or is that just player mistake?
I'm going with the player. Their special teams. We've had game-winning kicks. We've had phenomenal punting. We've had some good things. But this kid, and I love him, met his parents out in Dallas, good family. I just think that we need a returner. I was begging for B. Mitch to come out of retirement just so we could win the division. I think he could come from behind the booth right now and be better than anybody they have. And that's a damn shame. I don't know why there's not more options. I would like to see 15 get the ball on some of those jet sweeps. I want the ball in his hands, but he's not catching the ball well right now. He makes a great catch going out of bounds to make a huge play, and then he's missing the simple one. So that's on him. But in the NFL, the patience is only so long. And eventually, and I don't want to lose that kid. I think he's got great upside, but he got to play his way onto this team. And he could salvage it with a big game against Philadelphia. But if he lays the egg again, then I'm done.
That's Doc Walker, man, the Super Bowl champion. Paul, you got one more thing you want to drop before we let him go? Doc, I appreciate you so much, Chad.
My man.
Paulie.
Hey, man. Y'all keep doing what you're doing, man. We keep, like I say, we can win this thing on Sunday. I mean, it's that. Now they got us in prime time, so which usually has been the worst time for us. They got us in prime time. Sunday night, brilliant move by the NFL. So up in Philly, remember 215, we went up there in Philly. We had D-Jack, all the boys on our side. We went up there and walked the dog, came back champs. Great cap. But we ain't bust the grape since then.
Man.
This would be nice.
Drop a score real quick, Doc, before we let you go.
Oh, I don't know that, dude. I leave that to Polly, and I leave that to Sheehan. I leave that to all the forecasts. I'm an analyst. I analyze what I see. I don't predict the future.
Hey, man, that's Doc Walker, man. I love you so much, man. Hey, we appreciate you, man. Happy holidays.
Hey, thank you,
Doc, man. And then we hope we can talk about the playoffs later on down the road, Doc. What I say, believe. Believe.
Thank you, Doc. Hey, Doc, I'm going to have my glass of Henny Sunday night. I'm going to toast it to you when we be toasting that division.
I got you, man. Over there at Doc Walker Pro View, man. Appreciate you so much, Doc.
You got it.
My man.
Later, brother.
My man.
Later, Polly.
All right, boss.
That was Rick Doc Walker, Super Bowl champion, Washington football team, joining us. Hey. If you had a problem with the audio, don't worry about it. We're going to go back and run the show. You catch it on the replay when I go and clean the live show up for the people, man. But
hey, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something about Doc, man. Let me tell you something about Doc, bro.
Yeah.
Like Doc is my guy so much, man. Coming up as a fan. I wore 88 and I played tight end in high school. Just because Doc Walker was my guy growing up, man. I'm telling you. He wasn't the most flashiest of guys, but you know what he was? He was consistent, and for whatever reason it was, you always seen him on TV, the leader of the fun bunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yo, when I was in high school, I played tight end. I rocked that 88, man. You know what I mean? Around these parts, they know me as 88, bro. You know what I mean? That was all because my man Doc Walker.
They know you winning 757 for 88 because you was
bro.
A rapper. No, you was a rapper. You
tight end, baby. Tight end, man.
You know you were rapping. You know you was making rap music in your phone. I know you were, Paulie.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna tell you. I know who your cousins is. I know.
Okay.
We live, y'all, right here, Red T Sports Survival. I'm Tavon Fennell. Hashtag Red T. You can find me at all over social media. Hold on. I'm Tavon Fennell singing. I keep forgetting about to say I'm singing now. You know I got Lil Junior and stuff, man. And that's my man right there, Playoff Party at Green 34. Y'all make sure y'all go give him a follow on Twitter. Chop it up with him, man. We appreciate Doc Walker, Super Bowl. I want to say I kept having to catch myself to say sports radio show host. You know it was like, but that's for another day for us to talk about off the air, Party. We don't want to hurt nobody's feelings on that one right there. I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Hey, man. And we could just do it. We could do a whole show on these sports radio shows, man. We could do a whole show on that, man. I got a lot of venom for a lot of people.
hey, playoff Party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna call this right here? I'm gonna start a segment. This gonna be called playoff party. Playoff party, right? Washington football team. This game against the Philadelphia Eagles, right? This for you. I'm gonna let you fire off on this one right here, bro. Well, I'm not gonna let you. I just want your opinion on this. If the Washington football team doesn't win this game against the Philadelphia Eagles and clinch the division and their season is over, do they go draft a quarterback?
It depends on who's out there. I mean, clearly they need a quarterback. You know, so if you identify somebody in the draft that you like, I mean, I clearly think we need to pull a Kansas City Chief move, and we need to move up and get the quarterback we want to get. Now, I'm not saying try to move all the way up to 2 or 3 and try to get Justin Fields, but anywhere, if there's a guy out there between 10, the way it stands, we would be drafting like 18 or something like that. If we make the playoffs, we're gonna be 19. But you know what? Hold on, check that. Let me start by saying this. If we make it to the playoffs or not, we need to get a quarterback next year. Look at the roster. You know what I mean? So either way, I think we need to make a Kansas City Chief move up there, get our guy. You know, if there's a guy, if it's not a guy there, then we got to go look on free agency. You know, I hear people talking Matthew Stafford and all that, and that's good and all, but I'm not trying to give up a bunch of picks for an older guy. You know what I mean? Now, the one guy I would look at, now you go free agency route, James Winston down there in New Orleans.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah. You say what you want to say. The man know how to throw the ball. Yeah. Did he have a lot of turnovers in his last stint? He did. But you know what? Turnovers can be rectified. We had a guy here who was was an interception machine for 2 or 3 years in everybody's beloved Kirk Cousins. You know, so you put a guy in a right offense, you know, in a system, in a good running game, and he already showed that he can get that ball downfield. You know, I would definitely be looking at a Jameis Winston in the offseason.
Hold on, Paul. Y'all want to put it up on the screen, and that's our listeners, right? Let's ask them. Let's ask the listeners. If the Washington football team missed the playoffs, do they go get a quarterback in the draft? Or no, just a quarterback, period. Draft or free agency, right? Let's put it out there, Paul. Let's put it out there for the people. Bang. There you go, right there.
There it is. You know, in my opinion, they need to get a quarterback if they make or miss the playoffs. So, you know what I mean? That's my opinion. Either way, they're going to need a quarterback for next year, man. You know, like I said, first on my list, I'm looking at availability. First on my list is Jameis Winston.
Mm-hmm.
That's first on my list.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead, who else?
I mean, who else is out there?
So you don't think
I mean, I'm kind of waving about Cam.
You don't think they need to do nothing with the defense as of right now?
Oh, defense definitely, man. Come on. I mean, they need a middle linebacker. Bostic got to go, man. Bostic is just a man in the space, man. He's there. You know what I mean?
Don't forget, we still got Reuben Foster on the roster.
No, he's on the roster, but you don't know what you got in Reuben Foster. I mean, the man ain't played it with. It's going to be going on 3 years now. I can't count on nobody who can't stay on the field. You know, I mean, by his fault or not his fault. You know what I mean? I mean, so far we done went a whole year and a half now with no problems between him and his lady. You know what I mean? So I'll give him credit for that. But he hasn't been on the field. I can't count on nobody I have never seen make a tackle in my uniform. You know, if he did some things before and he's working his way back a la Alex Smith, then I would kind of say, yeah, we got him coming back. But we've never seen him on our field. And especially, we're in a whole different defense. Exactly. So I don't know. About. We definitely need to get linebackers, man. You'll have to definitely draft another safety. I love Cameron Curl and I love Everett. You know what I mean? But as you see right now, we're on our third and actually we're on our fourth and fifth string safeties. You know, Landon Collins. What are they gonna do with Landon? I mean, we talk about next year. You can go on and on. Landon Collins. What are they gonna do with Landon Collins? He gotta go. You know what I mean? Landon Collins got to go.
Man,
that's too much money. That's too much money to be tying up at a safety spot who's not an impact player. Now, if that's Jamal Adams back there, then that's definitely worth the money. Right. But he's nowhere near Jamal Adams.
Right, but Paulie, listen here though, man. And let's go to some of these comments. Our big brother Authentic, what's up with you, man? The phone line's open if you want to tap in with us. He said they'll have a top 10 pick if they lose too. No. Well, Brandon Ray say no more Ohio State quarterbacks. Big brother Jamal Hickson say no draft for quarterback. Get in line the wideouts to keep up with the defense. Let's see. Stephen Atkins say he agreed with big brother Paulie for a free agent. That's Paulie. Stephen Atkins. Tom Casey say Stafford or Matt Ryan will be a QB for Washington. I thought about Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan going to the 49ers. Matt Ryan going to the 49ers to reunite with Kyle. He going to the 49ers. There it is first.
Jamal.
Hey, don't forget about Dak. I love to get Dak just to stick it to the Cowboys.
Nah, man. I don't want no Dak, man. You don't know what type of Dak gonna come back from that injury, man. No. I don't want nobody's healing luggage. We done been down that road.
I can't argue with that one.
This offense needs to change with the time.
It still would be a good goddamn story though.
Oh Lord. Big brother,
Kirk Cousins was not a turnover machine. Did you see the Giants game on Monday night? What he throw 5?
Well, that's with the Vikings, but he's talking about.
No. I'm talking about with us. When he was with us, he was a turnover machine.
99 touchdowns for Kirk at the red, pretty much.
No, don't give me his stats, bro. From 2014 to 2015. He was a turnover machine, man. He got benched because of his turnover. He got benched for Colt McCoy for their turnovers, man.
Hold on,
he was a good quarterback. So I'm not saying he was a bum. I'm just saying.
Paul. Hold on. Instead of telling him or reading his comment, why don't we just do this and just put our brother Authentic on the screen?
Yes, sir.
What up, boss? How you doing, man?
Hey, good morning, fellas, man. I'm just getting the day started. I definitely appreciate y'all tapping me in, man. It's been a fire episode so far.
Hey, man. Hey, Authentic.
Yes, sir.
What's wrong with your head, bro?
Hold on. First of all, man, don't be calling me no sir like I'm old man Johnson or something like that. And then second of all, you gotta smile. There you go, smile, man. We on the sports revival, man.
Hey, you know it. This morning. Hey, that was a big guest y'all had just now too, man. But I want to tap in on the Kirk Cousins talk. You know, I'm a New York Giants fan, but I live on North Capitol in Washington, D.C., so I get a good gauge of what's going on here in D.C., just like y'all do, I'm sure. But I think the Kirk Cousins thing is overhyped. He's not – if we're going to compare him to Jameis Winston, I don't think that's a fair comparison. I mean, you're talking about a guy who had a 1-to-1 interception ratio with touchdowns his last season with the Buccaneers. I know he can throw the rock. That's for sure. That's the one thing I do agree with. But to have 30 interceptions in one season, we're not even counting the fumbles either that Jameis Winston had as a Buccaneer, where I put the stats in the chat for you with Kirk Cousins. I mean, that's pretty much 2-to-1 every year. You got 25 and 12, 29 and 11, 27 and 13. And you're talking about a fan here who is dealing with the real turnover machine in Daniel Jones right now, who's second in the league in fumbles.
Okay.
You know, high up there in interceptions. I think right now Washington fans would take Kirk Cousins in a heartbeat. But the biggest problem with Kirk Cousins was the money. It's the money. I mean, let's be real here. The franchise tag was too much money to pay Kirk Cousins. But we talking about guys like Jameis Winston as the number one option at quarterback for Washington right now. That can't be true. That can't be.
Hey, Red, let me chime in on this one, man. Look, man, my whole comparison with the whole Cousins situation was Kirk threw a lot of interceptions early on. That's what I'm saying. He threw a lot. He got benched because of that. And like your guy, he had a fumbling problem also. What I'm trying to say is Kirk rectified his interception problem. You know, he doesn't throw a lot of interceptions anymore. And I'm saying that could be possible for Jameis Winston also. Get him in a good system. Get him, you know, and I think our system is a good system for quarterbacks because it's built around the dink and dunk pass, the pass out to the running back, you know, hitting your tight end. You know, so I wasn't getting on him as he was a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but to me, he's just not my quarterback because when it came down to the clutch, he seemed to ball up in a fetal position, and that's what.
I'll give you that.
And
we know that, Kirk Cousins' prime times numbers was very awful. He could not win a game on Monday night, but the interception thing, I can't agree with you on that. You look at him from his first year that he started, 27 or 29 touchdowns to 11 interceptions. That's not even close to a turnover machine. We got to keep it 100 here. You know, Kirk Cousins, I truly believe it was a money thing because to franchise tag a guy like that and pay him top dollar quarterback money, when you're a fan, that just doesn't make sense. The same thing happened to Ryan Tannehill. The same thing happened to Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota was not playing terrible football. He just wasn't playing good enough football to get the big contract as a top paid quarterback in this league.
Hey man, we're gonna agree to disagree on that one. I agree with you about
the numbers.
money.
The numbers say it. The numbers.
Hey,
say
man,
it.
look, man. This dude was guaranteed. This dude was almost guaranteed for almost two interceptions a game, man. You know, you giving me final stats. I understand all that, but
the numbers don't say that.
I've watched all these games.
Look, you gotta understand. You gotta understand. Playoff fan, listen.
Go ahead.
You got to understand. You got to understand this. I got the numbers right in front of me right now. He's not throwing an interception. He wasn't throwing an interception a game. When he became a starter, he was almost throwing the ball 70%. He was 69.8% with 4,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions.
Give me the stats.
Those is numbers, bro.
Give me the stats.
You got to understand.
The year before that.
Look,
give me the stats.
The year before that, he wasn't a starter. The year before that, he wasn't a starter.
He started games the year before that. He wasn't a starter.
Picks the first year.
2015.
Those are 2015.
No.
Those are 2015 numbers.
2014. No. 2014. RG3 got hurt. RG3 got hurt.
I'm going to give you the 2014 numbers, too.
2014. RG3 got hurt against Jacksonville, week 2. Kirk came in against the Eagles, whatever, threw for 200-300, whatever it was. That year, he got benched that year because he was a turnover machine. Now
listen,
the point.
You want the numbers?
Let me finish.
I got to give you numbers on that real quick, though.
Let me finish. Hold on, real quick. Let me finish. The point that you're making is the same point I'm trying to make. You saying he corrected that problem.
No.
And into 2015 as a starter, he threw for 27-11. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Jameis Winston can correct that. That's the point I'm trying to make. I hear you. At first, Kirk Cousins had a turnover problem.
But he didn't,
as we've seen with Jameis Winston. Now,
Kirk Cousins' interception problem is not nowhere near what Jameis Winston is. I'll give you the numbers from that first year you're talking about, and it wasn't week 2. He only started 5 games that year. He threw 9 picks, and he had 10 touchdowns.
Okay. All right,
We
now
talk, aren't we
10
talking
touchdowns.
about a
He's
6
on
round?
a 5
finish,
game.
Paul. Let him finish,
look.
Paul. Let him go ahead.
Now look, I don't, you know, I don't want to talk too much over y'all for sure. You know, I got to come on the show and come here with respect, obviously.
No, you
So you good, brother.
But
You
we
good.
talking about a guy who
You good,
literally
brother.
was like a 6th round draft pick or something, right? Kirk Cousins,
Fourth round draft pick.
a 4th round draft pick coming in for another rookie quarterback. And when he played in his first 5 games, he only started in 5 games that year. He had 9 interceptions, 10 touchdowns, and 1,700 yards. He was still 61.8% completion percentage. We can't compare this guy to Jameis Winston.
Listen, man, I'm comparing the situation. And
you would have to tell me who the weapons. You would have to tell me who the weapons were in 2014 as far as wide receiver goes, because with
Pierre Garçon,
with Dwayne Haskins, right? With Dwayne Haskins, he got weapons.
He had Pierre Garçon. He had Deshaun Jackson.
That's weapons.
He threw like 4 interceptions in one game against the Giants. He got benched the Tennessee game. He got benched in the Tennessee game for throwing interceptions. He got benched for 4 in one game.
That means in the other 4 games,
he got benched
only
for
threw
Colt
5.
McCoy, brother. He got benched for Colt McCoy.
Yeah,
now,
Eli Manning got benched for Geno Smith.
Point is,
trust me, I know all about that.
Look, my whole point is, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. What I'm saying is he had a problem and he was able to correct it. And I'm just saying Jameis Winston can correct his problem. I don't see, that's all I'm trying to say, brother. And as far as you say about just coming with respect, hey, you all good, bro. This is what we do. We talk sports. We gonna argue back and forth. It's always respect.
Oh yeah, I know, but people are watching. People are watching, so I want them to get some clear-cut analysis, at least from my end of it, because you're talking about correcting a problem. There was never a problem. This is a guy who never threw more interceptions than touchdowns ever in his career. He left Washington with 99 touchdowns, 55 interceptions.
All right, let me say this then.
60% completion percentage.
Okay, let me say this. He had a problem. He had a problem with turnovers in a big moment. Now, is there facts?
Oh, now I'll take that. I was gonna. Okay. That's exactly what I was gonna talk about coming on the show. Is the thing
so
about Kirk Cousins was he couldn't win the big game.
Okay,
that was really
so
it.
Let me
you can't pay
a
guy big money who can't win the big game.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So maybe there it is. You corrected me, and to clarify what my feeling is that he had a problem with having turnovers in a big moment.
Yeah. Okay. We know that. Right. We know that with Kirk Cousins. 100.
All right, so we agree on that. Okay. So your stats say what they say, and you agreeing with me on he had a problem in turnovers in big moments. That was my only problem with Kirk Cousins. Like that's my problem with Kirk Cousins.
Hold on, we got a caller on the line here. Let's get it. Good morning. Is this Brian A. Line?
Hi, good morning. This is Ashley from Bowers. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Ashley. How you doing? From where?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You calling from where?
W.E. Bowers.
W.E. Bowers.
Oh, it looks here that I have the wrong number, so I am sorry for troubling you, sir.
All right.
No problem, Ashley.
She called the sports revival. W.E. Bowers called it the sports revival.
She looking for a lawyer, fam.
Looking for a lawyer, son. But anyway, though. But we sit in live, Red T Sports Revival. There's Paulie over there. That's Brother Authentic. But listen here, though. When it comes down to it, let's look towards on Sunday here, y'all. Right? Authentic, your Giants, in order for them to have a possibility, a slight chance of getting in the playoffs, they got to take care of business with their 1 o'clock game. Let's talk about that there. So let me hear your intake on that. What needs to be done for the Giants to win? Hold on, we got a call here. Good morning. Good morning.
Red, it's your boy. Y'all woke me up. Y'all woke me up. All I'm trying to do is drink some coffee and listen to y'all, and I'm getting upset because Washington fans do not ever appreciate a good quarterback. You cannot throw the ball 50 times a game and think that you're not going to get interceptions thrown. That was the problem. That wasn't a big problem with Kirk Cousins. That was the offense being bad. Like, nobody wants to talk about how bad the defense was during that time, how bad the coaching was. It's always pointing at Kirk Cousins. Like, right now, if you're telling me today you would take former Kirk Cousins, Paulie, pull the truck over and give me the keys. I need to get you tested.
Kirk Cousins had an option right now.
And if y'all, hold on.
And I love you, brother Paulie.
Hold on. If y'all don't know who that is, that's Brian Langford from the Brian Ain't Lying show. I told y'all I got a whole lot of friends, man. They just come from all over the world, man. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him on Twitter at Brian Ain't Lying. The LYIN. Ain't that right, Brian Ain't Lying? Something like that. Right.
Yeah. You nailed it. Because I love brother Paulie, man. I can hear his passion. I can see where he's coming from. But see, I watched Kirk in college. Kirk was the same way with Michigan State. He was asked to throw the ball a whole lot. And I'm telling you, you're going to go into the offseason and think that Jameis Winston is going to be a solution? Huh. If you ain't seen nothing bad yet. If you're mad at Dwayne Haskins, go ahead and up your meter because Jameis Winston is brutal.
And while I got Brian Ain't Lying on the phone, if y'all don't know, that's well, his undercover name is Dick and B, but the Bama sent me a message talking about he gonna elevate himself to Pastor B9 that them Bama Cowboys might got a chance to get into the playoffs. And before you called in, Brian, and I want you to stay here for a minute. Big Brother Authentic, y'all got to go up against each other on Sunday, right? And so Authentic would be before Brian called in. We was about to get your take on the keys of victory. And Brian, I want you to stick and listen to this, and then I want you to tell us what the Cowboys got to do to possibly try to get into this moment of winning the division in NFC East. Go ahead, Brother Authentic.
On that assessment, because I do think if you bring in a guy like Jameis Winston, the mechanics is very similar to Haskins. But as far as the Giants' keys to victory in this game, it's going to have to be a change out of this zone defense. I feel like the past 2 weeks here against the Ravens and against the Browns, our zone defense has been getting ate up because we can't get pressure with that front four. Now, Dallas coming into this game pretty hot, man, putting up a lot of points in their W's. They played a fantastic game here against Philadelphia this past week, man. And I tell you what, man, every time I see CeeDee Lamb play, I'm just like, man, the Giants should have drafted that guy. I would totally trade a left tackle to have a guy like CeeDee Lamb on my team. Speedster, tough guy, can go up, get the ball. He makes the one-on-one catches, the 50-50 balls. He makes those catches. And you got to think about this. Dallas is doing this right now without their running game clicking. So if they can get their running game clicking, I think it's going to be really difficult for my Giants to go and get a W against Dallas this week. It's going to take an incredible effort from Daniel Jones. He's going to have to continue to not turn the ball over. He's only got one turnover in the last 5 games. But we're going to need more touchdowns out of him. And I'm looking for Jason Garrett to get this running game clicking on our side of the ball, too. You look at Wayne Gallman, his trajectory since the injury to Devonta Freeman was continuously going up. And the past 3 weeks, because our defense has been on the field for so long, we've been losing the time of possession battle 3 weeks in a row here. You haven't seen a lot of Wayne Gallman, and he's not getting the touches, he's not getting the volume, and he's not getting the yards. So I think it's going to start up front. We got to get some pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, Andy Dalton is a different quarterback when he's got pressure in his face. I need to see guys like Leonard Williams and Sexy Dexy getting into the backfield, getting some more sacks. I think we got 2 straight games with no sacks, maybe 1 sack in one of those games. And then on the other side of the ball, we definitely going to have to start this, this onslaught with the running game clicking. I need to see Wayne Gallman and your boy Alfred Morris out there getting it, and then maybe we could see Danny Dimes doing some things off the play action and off the RPO. And that's for me.
Man, that's Big Brother Authentic did, man. But now that's from a Giants. That's from a Giants perspective, right? Sports analyst perspective, right? Covering the team, watching the team, doing this thing, following the team, podcast, all that jazz. But then we want to flip the coin to Brian Ain't Lying, and then you say, what about the Cowboys to win against the Giants, Brian?
Brother Authentic, I love you. Please don't call that man Danny Dimes. You do that.
hey, maybe I'll call him Dual Threat Danny.
Call him Danny Pennies.
Dual Threat Danny.
Listen, they got to come out like they've done the last couple of weeks. They started off slow against Philly, but they kept their head up. Everybody kept playing. Nobody, kind of like sat down and was like, I'm done, I'm over this. Zach Martin possibly returns Sunday, which would be great for Dallas and great for Andy Dalton. because I always say he got cement feet, but he done broke away the last couple of weeks with a couple of runs. The run game got to get going. It doesn't have to be great, but if we watch Sunday's game or the last couple of games, even those 3-4 yard runs help Andy Dalton out to deliver, great passes to Lamb, and arguably his favorite target is now Michael Gallup. So the offense got to, play through at least the running game for a little while because Michael Gallup will get going. Defensively, I want to see Randy Gregory again. Randy Gregory is hell. He's going to find his way in the backfield. He's going to find his way at the quarterback. My only concern would be if Daniel Jones takes stabs down the field because our safeties are brutal. So, the front four and the linebackers have to make immediate impact Sunday. And if they do that, then Dallas wins the game. And then ultimately, I thought they had no shot at this. Dallas could end up winning the division. 3 weeks ago, this window was like cracked.
Oh God! Oh God! It is. See, that's when the Bama come out in him right there when he started. See, I like to hang up on people with no problem.
Hey, I'm gonna say this much. Though. I'm say this much.
At the house. I left Deacon B at the house today because if I brought him here today, he would probably be telling me a couple of things like, well, Washington is sitting there crying because they about to get ate up by some birds Sunday night. See, I got a
We need that.
His name is the Red Rifle. I know right now. Rifle. So guess what, baby? I'm going to cut my check. And at 11 o'clock, I'm going to have me some Jack Daniels and I'm going to be celebrating.
You don't need it. You don't need it. Hey, but I tell you what, this is a winning situation for the NFL though. You got the NFC East, you got 4 big markets, and it's coming down to the last game of the season. It's all smiles up in that front office and NFL league offices, that's for sure.
Yeah.
How man, that's why they put that game at 8 o'clock. But look though, y'all, we gotta start getting ready to get up out of here. Brother Authentic, man. Tell the people where they can find you at, man, and what time you come on. And send me a link and send me your number so I could get on with you, brother.
I got you. I'll definitely send you the link. I want to address real quick my man Tom Casey saying that my man Daniel Jones is not the answer over there. I want him to tell me a quarterback in the NFL that's getting it done right now with 0 weapons. Even Deshaun Watson is 4-12 right now. So for people that want to find me, man, I do a podcast 3 times a week with 2 Washington football team fans here in Washington, D.C. My studio is located on North Capitol. It's called Authentic, the way I spell it, and The Beard. So Authentic and The Beard. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays at 7 p.m. as well. And then Sunday mornings right before the games, we do a fantasy and a betting show called The Parlay at 11 a.m. So if y'all want to check me out, those are the channels. And on social media, I'm just at Authentic, the way I spell it, AWTHENTIK, on all platforms. I'm a producer and an artist from this area, and I love football, so I wanted to do a podcast as well, man. Rev T, I appreciate you having me on the show. Playoff fam, I definitely appreciate you, going back and forth. I know the fans going to love that debate. That's going to be a classic one, man, and best of luck to y'all with this division.
Good one.
Hey, you know what's crazy, man? I got my whole family is New York Giants fans, man, so I'm used to it.
Oh man, I feel you on that, bro. My brother is a Dallas Cowboys fan, man. So
my whole family
I get it like that all day, bro. Definitely, man. And I appreciate y'all having me on. Yes, sir.
I know his cousins. He got a lot of cousins that's underground rapping. When he take off that hoodie, you can tell who one of his cousins is and stuff. You got to watch him, man. I don't know where the hell I found Paul together. I think I found him talking on the radio or something on Team 980 or something like that.
Paulie probably got some blue up under that hoodie. I promise you.
Hey, man, don't listen to Al Green or Al Sharpton over there, man. You know what he's talking about, bro.
Hey, brother Authentic, man, we love you so much. Your casa, me casa, Viva the casa, my brother.
Hey, good luck to you, bro. Good luck to the Giants.
I appreciate that, man. You know, we're going to need it, brother. We're going to need it, fam. Y'all be easy.
Hey, but Paulie, though, they say when you just call people, you call out their name and they just call you whenever Hold on. You just call out my name, and you know where.
And you call me the rapper.
I went and got Robbie Groves. That's
Play that funky.
You see how I start singing music like that, and Robbie Groves just pop up on you. You see, Robbie, you look like white Jesus right now.
There you go.
I'm just telling you, like I could put you up in the major or something. Hold on, you be a baby. When you know what I mean, I'm just saying though. It's like he just came out there. Look,
up
look
here.
at my eyes.
He said that this week he praying for it. He said we need the Holy Ghost on Sunday.
There you go. We do. We need some.
But hold on, but
We need
that's
the
my
Holy
brother
Ghost
though.
Sunday.
Hold on, but that's my brother though, Robbie Groves. He celebrated practice Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah to you and your people, man.
Thank you. I get to celebrate both. I get to, I married a shiksa, as we call them in the Jewish world, and so I get to celebrate both with Zach.
You're the best of both worlds.
Man,
there you go.
Hey, Robbie, the way I see it about Hanukkah, it's like Kwanzaa. You get a gift every day, don't you?
Yep, you got 8 nights.
Yeah.
It's almost.
I love Hanukkah. I love Hanukkah, and I love Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. Get me a yarmulke ready for next year.
There you go, right there. So
hey, look, if Sammy could wear a yarmulke, so could I.
I'll find one for you in my drawer. I'll send it to you for sure.
What's going on, Robbie? What you want to talk about this morning?
Nothing, I wanted to say you guys have a great show. I've been watching the whole show. It's been great. I like the debating. I like the Giants and Cowboys, getting them riled up. Hopefully it doesn't matter. I'm happy that the breaking news that happened right after we left, obviously, with the Haskins, getting cut. And one thing I thought was interesting, I talked about this a little bit last night, the timing of it all. So Hurt got a text message late that previous night saying he's going to be fired in the morning. And then he wasn't, and he was disappointed because they said they're just going to put him in third string. That was the first report, right? Mm-hmm. And then he even goes and the coach goes and does a show that morning, basically saying he's the third string. And they released that video after he's cut, right? Mm-hmm. So what tells me is originally he had a change of heart. He said, I'm going to give him a third chance, even though I shouldn't, even though nobody's telling me to do that. And I'll put him, he could be the third string guy. He could sit back and try to learn from his mistakes again. And I think Dwayne Haskins caught wind of that and went to the coach and said, I'm not feeling that. And the coach said, actually, you're gone, right? Because they would never have filmed that segment if he wasn't going to actually maybe put him in third string. And, so to me, he blew 3 chances, not 2. People aren't really reporting on this, but if you follow the timeline, I think they were ready to give him a third chance, even when he probably didn't deserve it. And
he didn't want to be the third string.
He didn't want to be the third string. He didn't want to continue to learn and evolve and take the lumps. And I was saying this on the show before, you can either be really bad but treat people well, or you can be really good and treat people poorly, but you can't do both. You can't basically go to a strip club or whatever, get strippers, and have a coach dealing with cancer and then play badly. You can't have all of that.
And then try to play the victim.
Right. Yeah. I had the toughest week of my life. I'm sorry that your life is
here, man.
So privileged.
I wonder how that happened.
Your life is so privileged that going to see some strippers and getting some people making fun of you on social media is the worst week of your life. How many people in 2020 would kill to have that be the worst week of their life? And he goes out there and says that and expects the fan base. And it's funny because the fan base has been fractured this whole season, right? Half the people like the guy, half the people hate the guy.
We all united. We all united today.
Yeah, we all were right.
Listen here. No offense in my respect, man, to the people who lost their lives and stuff. And I had family members, but I ain't seen this much unity in people since 9/11.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya. Black, white, yellow, brown. Everybody
out of
loves
here.
Burgundy and gold right now. They don't give a damn
Get
who
him out
the
of here.
quarterback is. I'm just saying. I mean, you know.
They could have cut him at the end of last week, but they were like, they didn't want the organization to look bad. So they basically said, we'll give him another shot against a poor team and let's see how he does. And he played worse than he did the previous week.
He played as if he didn't care. And that's that's what made me mad the most. Like, man, where your heart at, man? Where you fight? He played as if he didn't care.
Yeah, but look though, Robbie, while I got you here, you know people like when you come on the show, man, and you be talking and doing your thing. But I got I think this Tom Casey here asking about the Wizards.
Yeah,
Robbie, he said, dude, let's see. He said, Robbie, do the Wizards get the win tonight? They are favored. What's up with that? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So there's 4 big games this week. You know, everyone knows we were 0-3. We had the 2 triple doubles. All 3 games we could have won. All 3 games we had either the lead or very close going into the fourth quarter, and the defense failed them in all 3 games going into this. Now, the Bulls team are not nearly as good as the teams that we lost to. So they are a team that we could beat. So there's 2 games against the Bulls coming up. There's one tonight, and then they've gotten a matinee game on New Year's Eve. It's before all the New Year's Eve craziness. But then they've got to play a Minnesota game the next night at 8:00, which is rough. So they got to fly over New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, play back-to-back. And we know that Westbrook has said he's not playing back-to-back this year. And then we've got a Timberwolves team.
Hold on, Rob.
Yeah.
Westbrook didn't say that. Scott Brooks and the organization said that.
Yeah, I was about to say what?
Right.
Hold on, what?
And I say this.
They came to an agreement, right? I don't think I think Westbrook probably asked for that, though, right? I mean, I don't think that it just suddenly. Why would only one player get it if he didn't want it?
Hey, Robbie, let me ask you this: Is that off his knee surgery he had right before the bubble? Is that what that was about?
I think that he came back a little hobbled, and the problem is they're trying to condense these games. So, in the NHL, there's going to be 56 games. In the NBA, they're doing 72, but you got to remember, they're starting the season a couple of months late. So they're trying to fit 72 games in a time period that would usually have between 60 and 65. So that's a lot of games, a lot of back-to-back. And unlike the NHL, where all of it was they're going to be playing back-to-back games and you're only playing the certain teams in your division. The NBA is doing it where they're playing almost all the games, right? You're playing almost all the teams. You're traveling. You're still doing the back-to-back. And so I think that they're just trying to manage minutes to try to make it so you can make it to the playoffs. And I understand it, but obviously it's going to be a handicap through the system, because there's going to be so many times where we're going to need him in the back-to-back, right? And he's not going to be there.
And then look, Paulie, on top of this, then it's gonna bring up the talk if they lose the game. Well, if Russell Westbrook was in the game, then we could have won. So it's kind of like having drama that shouldn't be drama, and the focus should be on the Wizards as a whole. But now the focus all season long is going to be how does Westbrook feel, and this was one of my concerns going into this season with him, Paulie.
Yeah, I'm listening to you. What you say?
No, I'm asking your thoughts on that.
About Westbrook? I mean,
yeah.
look, I understand. That's why I asked Robbie, was this, the concern off that knee surgery? Because he didn't play well in the bubble. So maybe, they rushed it back a little bit. So I can understand them. But like you guys are saying, but I can see towards the end of the season, if they got games that they need and they playing on the back-to-back, I can't see him sitting out a game that they need to maybe get in the playoffs or maybe move up in playoff position. So I understand, why they would do that. And like you said, in the condensed season, hey, the circus got to go on. The elephants got to perform. You know what I mean? So I understand why they're doing that. Hey, but like I said, I mean, this is what the NBA is though now. Load management.
Well,
that's what the NBA is all about now.
Important that you mentioned that, because I want to mention that real quickly, because the NBA came out with a rule this year saying that you couldn't do load management if the game is nationally televised. Now, what is lucky for the Wizards is the first half of the season, they have zero nationally televised games. So they can get away with doing this in the first half of the year, to speak to your point, that maybe when they need him in the second half, and maybe if they're playing good enough, we get a nationally televised game. Maybe you bring him in those sort of. So
they haven't even come out with the second half schedule yet, have they?
They have not.
Okay,
so
they playing it. So they basically want to play it by ear.
Well, because I think they don't know how many games are going to get missed, because unlike the NHL and some of these things, there's going to be games lost due to COVID, and they're going to have to try to figure that out. And which
is smart. That's smart. There's one thing about the NBA, the front offices, they don't just make no irrational decisions, man. They actually think things through, unlike the NFL.
Right, and the NHL had to do 56 games, had to be shorter, and they had to announce it all because they're trying to finish that all before the Olympics, because the NBC owns the rights to showing hockey games, but they also own the Olympics rights, and so they can't have those conflicting.
That overlap.
That money up.
Yeah, so they got to make that shorter, and that's why they said they got to fit that in a tighter window.
Man, and the NHL, they need that money. They need that TV money. They're hanging on by a thread right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, true that. Well, that's Robbie Gross, man. Tell the people where they can find you and Carol Porter at, man.
For sure, yes.
Good show last night.
Yeah, that was awesome. We had such a crazy show. I really appreciate you tuning in and chiming in. We did a 2-hour and 20-minute show last night, long. First hour was on Wizards, breaking that down, first 50 minutes or so. Then we broke down the Washington football team. We didn't go back too far. We just really talked about last week, the cutting of Haskins, and then what we got to do going forward. We had Dujanet Bland on. He was fantastic. And then People's Champ came on at the end, and I did a fun little segment where we went through every one of the playoff matchups, all the different wild card games that mattered, or potential wild card matchups this week. So we went through the 5 games in the AFC that may decide basically there's 5 teams all tied with 10 wins. Only 4 can make it. If all 5 win, Indianapolis is out. If anybody loses in the other 4 wins, that team is out. So a lot of crazy stuff. We broke on all those matchups, and there's also some question marks with the last 2 wildcard spots for the NFC. So we did a whole 40-minute segment on that. SportsOTHP.com. I'm actually just editing the video right now. The podcast is up on all podcast platforms, or it's being distributed right now. I just uploaded it while I was listening to your show a little bit earlier. But a fun show. We love having you on. Facebook.com/SportsOTHP if you want to watch the live feed. Or just search Sports on the Hill podcast. But I love being on the show. I thought you guys did a great job this morning, and I appreciate the time.
That's Robbie Rob, y'all. Sports on the Hill.
My guy, Robbie.
We appreciate you so much,
white boy.
My man. You know what, Nancy, you gonna make me go pull that up and start playing that for him. Hey man,
Robbie.
Yeah, go Robbie. Let's go, my man. That was Robbie Raw, Sports on the Hill podcast. Hey, Carol, man, I said, I'm calling you Carol Porter III, like his co-host and son. Hey, Paulie, man, we had a good show for the people, man. Doc Walker came through, man, sat down. Then we had Brother Authentic, man, that came down and dropped some knowledge about the Giants. And then you and him got into a good debate, man, about the Kirk Cousins. Should he come back to D.C. or should you stood on Jameis Winston should come to D.C.? I got to say good morning, man, to Tavion 6420. I appreciate you, soldier, for following me over there on Periscope. I see everything. Paul, you got something you want to say before we get out of here, man?
Hail to the W, baby. Hail to the W, bro. We just said enough this morning, man. We gonna let it all marinate. You know what I mean? See y'all folks on the next one, man. You know what I mean? Burn that good kush. You know what I mean? Y'all have a great day. Hail to the W, baby.
He said hail to the W. Hey, man, I'm Tavon Fidel, #RevT. You can find me at all over social media. Let me. I got to thank Doc Walker for coming through. Super Bowl champion. Sports for the Washington football team. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey, one more thing, man. Kirk Cousins sucks, all right? We'll leave it at that.
Hey, man. I'm Tavon Fidel. Yes, Paulie, man. Green 34. Brother,
Head
oh,
to the
we
W, baby.
appreciate you, man. Robbie Grow Sports on the Hill, we appreciate you. Steven
Head
Atkins
to
on
the
the East
W.
Side Wrist, we appreciate you. Tom Casey, man, Don Gotti, Nash, and everybody lottie-dottie that came to the party. Go share the post, go share the post. We might see you tomorrow, we might see you Saturday, but we don't care because we do it our way, right here on the Rare T Sports Revival. I tell it to the young, I tell it to the old. You got to come to the Sports Revival to fill up your soul with all that good sports talk. I'm Tavon Fennell, hashtag Rare T. That's Pontiac Green 34, man. We see y'all later. It's time for us to get up out of here. Show you right. Show you right. Show you right.
Oh, we love you too. Show you right. Of course you're right. Hollywood. They brought Hollywood to Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. did not have to go to Hollywood. They brought Hollywood to Washington, D.C.